Who here wants to be more productive at work? Show of hands, couple. Okay, there we go, that's better. Who here works in finance? A couple of you as well? Okay, sweet. So we're Accelno, and we're redefining financial analysis. So currently, finance, they're complex workflows. The modeling process is simply very repetitive, and research is just very inefficient. And people see a need to optimize this process. We've spoken to people at Grant Thornton, the Bentley Investment Group, and the Huntington Fund. And what we're seeing is we're able to actually increase efficiency by 10 times.
Yeah, so how are we able to increase our efficiency by 10 times? We have three main things. We have our widget system, we have our widget system, our automated valuation, and our AI-powered market research. So first, the widget system. That allows analysts to see the data that they want to see on our screens, and that's updated in real time. And they can use that data to then make their automated valuations, which just makes the process of collecting and gathering data a lot quicker. And then, of course, we have our AI-powered market research, which does market research in both public and private companies to give them insights that would otherwise take them hours.
So we're a business. How are we gonna make money with this? So we're charging students $5 a month. We're charging everyone else $50 a month. And we're charging enterprise analysts $250 a month per seat. And it's gonna be operating on a credit basis. So if you exceed the credits, you pay extra. That's kind of how that pricing structure works. And we've actually spoken to a couple of people. Caston Capital and Millennium Asset Management both see a need in this. We estimate that they pay their analysts around $100,000 a year, and that they spend 20 to 30 hours a week doing manual valuation work. And we're gonna optimize that and hopefully save them at least $33,000 per analyst.
So we just launched a month ago, and we had 100 users within the first week, and this is where some of our users are from. And we've been able to get a lot of constructive feedback from these analysts, and we're just using that to iterate our product further.
And so what we're doing in relation to our competitors is we're actually accentuating what they do best, the human intuition, right? A lot of people in the space want to completely remove the analyst, right? But we want to foster and expedite the process and make them the best analysts that they can possibly be. And so where have we been and where are we going? So we released the DCF tool, which is a discounted cash flow model. It's like bread and butter valuation work for investment bankers, hedge funds, and wealth managers back in February. We're looking to release comps to the public very, very soon, released it to our beta users in April. And we're also adding customizability and releasing the Accelno terminal, which is the whole research platform, later this summer, and looking to get into private data in the winter. So our go-to-market strategy is we're talking to students and incoming analysts as well, and we're focusing mainly on hedge funds. And so the market's huge. The market is actually $24.8 billion. And we're looking to raise $250,000 in seed, and we're going to spend the money like this. This is our team. My name is Finn.
I'm Asish, and that's our COO, Arun.
This is our board, and we are Accelno, redefining financial analysis. Thank you so much. Whoa, sorry.
My question is really about, why are you passionate about this? Why is this something that you care deeply about?
So, actually, I'll take this one. I was doing an internship a couple years back, and I was asked to build a valuation model. I do nothing about anything finance related. I wasn't even a finance major, but I'd taken a couple computer science classes, and I was sitting there watching YouTube videos, as one does, because that's how I learn. And I'm going through this process, and I'm finding myself using copy and paste a lot, over and over again, right? And so in computer science classes, the first thing, and if any of you guys haven't taken one yet, day one, most classes, they explain what a bit is and all that other stuff. And they also talk about efficiency, right? Writing good code, right? And in finance, a lot of copy and paste, a lot of mind-numbing work. I spent 2 hours building this like template, right? And at the end, I was like, okay, that was tedious. So I was like, okay, there has to be a better way. And there simply just wasn't at the time. And this was a while ago. I think since then, some people have come onto the market, but they're not finding product market fit, and they're just not speaking to customers, at least not well enough, I guess, because we haven't seen anything that is moving in that direction, if that answers your question. But I have a finance background. I'm currently studying finance on the East Coast. I actually flew in this morning, to talk to you guys. So I'm very excited to be here. And I appreciate it.
So assuming that you get the growth that you're looking for and are successful, what makes you hard to copy?
That's a good question. What makes us hard to copy? I think our iteration speed is one thing, and also the ability to have or see the bigger picture. I know, like, we've spoken to people, and actually one of our competitors is from MIT, great school, very technical, but they don't come from a finance background, right? So the benefit between the team here, and I think the team is the biggest differentiator, is that we see the bigger picture. Ashish is world class at computer science. Come on, give yourself some credit. And I have some minor experience in finance. So I think that picture overall is something that's not very common, which I was very surprised about, but I haven't seen that overview a lot. There's not that many people that have that kind of overview. They're either like computer science or they're completely finance. Like, people make fun of finance students all the time that they just wear their vest and their flip-flops, and so I mean, yeah.
So I have a question. Can you explain your product a bit more? Is it to replace Excel? Is it as a complement to Excel?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're actually both. We're releasing the Excel extension hopefully this year to kind of act as like a pilot. And we're also, the main thing is we're creating a whole research platform that will allow people to do the research that they may have done in Bloomberg on the go, and also automate those tasks as well. So think about it as like a smarter Yahoo Finance that also is going to have an extension for Excel to kind of work as a co-pilot.
So how does this differentiate from some of the entrenched players in investment banking, such as FactSet or Capital IQ or some of the other players?
Absolutely. So flexibility. Capital IQ is not very flexible, and is, like we mentioned, they're kind of removing the analyst's like intuition. There's no you can just generate a model or generate something, but there's no like real customizability, right? And that's, I think, one of the reasons why it hasn't gotten as much traction as it could, is because people that are operating at these levels are very finicky about like how certain things are calculated. They're like, oh yeah, I need this formula specifically. This is the way. This is my favorite ratio. It needs to have this ratio, right? Or this is the way I like to do it. My whole workflow, and not having that customizability is a massive turnoff for some of these people.
You're probably the sixth guy I've actually taken a pitch with that's doing something like this in the past 3 months. So do you have a compounding advantage kind of once you're in there, so that this is effectively not a race to the bottom, right? You could charge 30,000 now, but if everybody starts charging 10,000, 5,000, 4,000, whatever it is, all of a sudden your TAM starts shrinking quite a bit, right? Do you have a compounding advantage once you're sort of, let's say, a first mover into a place, right, that removes the capability of somebody who's a fast follower, or just prices it kind of below you to kind of enter into the market?
Yeah, so basically, like what Finn was talking about earlier, we do have a lot of people on our team that are working very, very quickly, finance plus CS, and we're trying to take in as much user feedback as possible. And being, I guess, one of the few that are out there right now, we hope that we can use that to our advantage to always stay at the top.
And also to kind of build on that, we're also looking to get into private data, which people probably aspire to do as well, but I feel like once you are first, you kind of just get there first. I don't know. I think being first has its benefits. And I think just getting that experience, iterating fast, like Ashish said, at that level is going to help us stay ahead of those competitors as well. And also continuing to talk to customers. I don't know if that answered your question exactly, but.
Look, if it's just simply like, you have a better like customer support, that may be tough, right? Maybe it's easier to use, but is there a compounding data advantage that you effectively have moving forward, right?
Yeah, well, if people upload their private data, we're going to be able to learn how to analyze that better. And obviously, it'll get better over time as well, with more users coming on board and them giving us more data, or them even doing certain actions that show relationships between like data sets and stuff like that as well. So we're able to kind of build that out over time.
You had a variety of different customer types in your presentations, everything from students, public facing, enterprise. Who is your target customer demographic, and how are you going to obtain them?
Absolutely. So hedge funds are like the main target at the moment. That was actually one thing that we were told that we need to iterate. My last presentation, I had a very broad market. And I've heard that to be successful in the space, you have to go after a big target market, but then find a segment in that market and attack that small segment first, and then expand into the larger market. Because if you go after the big market, you might just, bite off too much that you can chew. That's not the expression, but something like that. So we're going after hedge funds. We're using students to also help us get into those hedge funds. We're talking to incoming analysts, like I said, and then also just, analysts and people at the higher level, like fund managers as well.
How else are you selling into this specific market?
So we are using word of mouth. We've through like my school, we have a alumni network that we've been using quite heavily, and we've had those customer conversations with those people. And turns out the hedge fund world's quite small, especially when you get into the smaller circles, especially in Boston. So we've been referred, just word of mouth. Just this might be promising. Hey, like take a look at this, and that's also again helped us iterate and make the product better.
Of the 100, I think you referenced 100 users that are.
Yeah, within like the first week. So
Okay.
yeah.
Are they, have you seen how often they're coming back to using your product? Sort of what is the repeatability and usability of the product right now?
So actually most of the people that are using it right now, and this was not super surprising, was students. And they're coming back once in a while, not too frequently. And we've actually internally discussed this already, that this is a problem that we're facing, that we're just currently, that our product offering is too narrow. And that's why we're adding comms and other types of value adds to the table to broaden that. And then we also have like hedge fund analysts using it as well, but same thing. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Accelno team.
Thank you so much.